There is a special kind of music that belongs only to the garden. It does not come from instruments or speakers, but from the wind itself. Soft, unpredictable, and alive. When plastic bottles are reborn as wind chimes, they give voice to that music, turning each gust into a gentle melody that lingers in the air. Imagine standing beneath a bamboo pergola, where strips of colorful bottles hang freely. The breeze brushes against them, and suddenly a quiet rhythm begins. Some tones are deep, others light, all woven together in a song that belongs only to this moment. It is not polished like the music on a radio, but it feels more real because it is made by nature, carried by the wind, and shaped by your own creativity. Creating bottle wind chimes is as simple as cutting bottles into long strips, painting them in bright, cheerful hues, and hanging them with thread or rope. The sound changes depending on their size, shape, and how they touch. In the morning, you hear a soft welcome. In the evening, a calm farewell. Even on still days, their colors shimmer like jewels, catching sunlight and adding joy to the garden. This design is not just decoration. It is presence. It reminds you to listen more closely to the world around you. It teaches children that music can be found anywhere, even in what was once waste. And it fills the garden with a spirit of play, transforming silence into harmony. Next time the wind passes through, it will not be empty. It will carry your song, made from bottles, from imagination, from the earth itself. There are gardens that feel alive in the daylight, full of color and warmth. Yet when the sun sets, many fade into silence and shadow. But what if the night could hold its own kind of wonder? A dome of plastic bottles, glowing with fairy lights, transforms the darkness into a scene of magic, an invitation to pause, to dream, and to linger. Imagine walking outside as dusk settles. In the corner of your garden, a dome made from cut bottles begins to shimmer. The lights inside glow golden, reflecting through the curved surfaces of plastic, scattering little stars across the soil and leaves. The garden, once quiet, feels enchanted. Every step near the dome feels like stepping into a story where ordinary space becomes extraordinary. Making this fairy light dome is simpler than it looks. Clear bottles, trimmed and joined together, form a half-sphere. A string of LED lights is placed inside, hidden yet alive. When switched on, the bottles amplify the glow, bending the light into patterns that change as you move around it. It is not just light. It is art born from your hands and imagination. Children may gather around, their faces lit with awe. Friends may pause, surprised that something so magical could rise from bottles once discarded. And for you, it becomes a nightly ritual. Stepping into the garden, letting the soft glow soothe your mind after long days. This creation does more than decorate. It transforms. It reminds you that beauty is not only in daylight, but also in the night, if only we choose to create it. With a little effort, waste becomes wonder, and your garden becomes a sanctuary of quiet light, glowing gently under the stars. An aquarium is already a world of its own, a window into quiet waters where fish glide gracefully and plants sway like whispers. But what if that world could be made more colorful, more alive, using nothing more than the bottles we often throw away? With creativity, a plastic bottle becomes coral, seaweed, or even hidden caves, transforming a simple tank into an underwater paradise. Picture a small aquarium resting in your home. Inside, fish swim through arches made from bottle pieces shaped like coral. The colors, soft blues, greens, and coral pinks, shine beneath the water, reflecting the light in playful ways. Small bubbles drift upward, fish dart between the curves, and suddenly the aquarium feels like a piece of the ocean, full of discovery and beauty. Creating these decorations is simple. Bottles can be cut, heated slightly for curves, and painted with safe, waterproof colors. Some are shaped into plants with thin leaves waving in the current. Others become caves where shy fish rest. It costs nothing but time, yet gives the aquarium personality and depth, making it not just a tank, but a living piece of art. For children, it becomes a storybook, an underwater kingdom they can watch for hours. For guests, it becomes surprise, sparking conversation about creativity and sustainability. And for you, it becomes a quiet pride, knowing you've given waste a new life that not only decorates but also shelters. Each time you watch your fish swim, you see more than just movement. You see imagination made real. Plastic bottles, once forgotten, have become coral in caves, proof that beauty can bloom even beneath the surface of water, if we are willing to shape it with our hands. Every garden feels more alive when birds come to visit, their songs filling the air, their wings catching the sunlight as they flutter from branch to branch. Offering them a place to rest and drink is not only kind, but also beautiful. With nothing more than plastic bottles, you can create a bird bath stand that turns your garden into a sanctuary for feathered friends. Picture a small stand in the middle of your yard, built from bottles stacked firmly to form a base. At the top sits a shallow dish of water, clear and inviting. Sparrows swoop down, perching at the edge, dipping their beaks for a drink. Some splash joyfully, sending droplets into the air like tiny crystals. The sound of wings, the sparkle of water, and the laughter of nature fill the garden with life. Making a bird bath stand is surprisingly simple. Bottles can be filled with sand or stones for stability, then stacked or joined to create height. The top can be a wide lid, a shallow bowl, or even the bottom of a large bottle. Add fresh water daily, and within days you'll notice birds stopping by, especially on hot afternoons. It is more than just decoration. It is connection. The garden becomes a shared space where humans and birds meet, where kindness is repaid with music. Children will find joy in watching them play, and you may discover a new rhythm in your mornings. Stepping outside not only to tend your plants, but also to refill the little well that keeps the garden alive with wings. From waste comes water, and from water comes life. And in the simple act of building a bird bath stand, you give nature a gift and receive its song in return. Walls often stand silent, strong, steady, and unchanging. But what if a wall could become both a work of art and a source of life? With bottles cut and arranged in clever patterns, a simple wall can drip water like rain, nourishing plant below while transforming plain bricks into something alive. Imagine standing before a wall where plastic bottles are fixed in neat rows, each tilted slightly downward. Water flows gently from one to another, like a cascade of tiny streams. Below, pots of herbs and flowers soak in the steady drops, their leaves glistening in the sun. The wall is no longer just a boundary. It becomes a living artwork, pulsing with motion, sound, and growth. Creating a drip wall is a mix of design and function. Bottles can be cut at an angle, attached with nails or ties, and filled with water that trickles slowly through small holes. Arranged in patterns, zigzags, spirals, or even abstract mosaics, they bring color and rhythm to the garden. Every drip feels like a brushstroke, painting the soil with life. This design saves water while adding charm. On hot afternoons, the droplets keep roots cool and leaves fresh. For small gardens, it maximizes vertical space, turning walls into fountains of growth. For families, it offers both beauty and utility, an eco-friendly reminder that art can also serve. Visitors may pause, enchanted by the sight of a wall that seems to weep with joy. Children may place their hands under the drops, laughing as water touches their skin. And you, the maker, feel the quiet pride of blending creativity with care. From discarded bottles comes a mural of life. From waste comes wonder. The wall, once silent, now sings with every drop. As night falls, a garden often slips into silence. The flowers close, the birds rest, and the air cools. Yet with a little imagination, the darkness becomes a stage for light. Plastic bottles, cut and carved with care, turn into lanterns where candles glow, painting the evening with shadows and warmth. Picture yourself walking through a quiet backyard as the sun dips below the horizon. Along the path, lanterns stand glowing, each bottle cut with patterns of stars, leaves, or waves. The light flickers inside, casting those shapes upon the soil and walls. The garden feels alive again, not with sun, but with fire's gentle dance. Making bottle lanterns is simple but endlessly creative. Bottles can be trimmed into cylinders, decorated with cutouts, and painted in translucent colors. Place a candle or a small LED inside, and the magic begins. The flame transforms the plastic into a storyteller, projecting patterns into the night. One lantern whispers calm, another sings with joy, and together they create an atmosphere both intimate and enchanting. These lanterns invite gathering. Families may sit nearby, sharing stories in the glow. Children watch the shadows shift, their eyes wide with wonder. Neighbors passing by may pause, surprised that such beauty comes from waste. And you, the maker, feel warmth not only from the flame, but from the knowledge that you brought life to the night with your own hands. It is proof that light doesn't have to be bright to be meaningful. Even the soft flicker of a candle, housed in a humble bottle, can change a garden, a mood, a memory. And as you watch the lanterns glow, you see how the smallest sparks can light the darkest hours. There's a rhythm in nature that loves to spiral. From seashells to galaxies, the curve of life seems endless, flowing upward and outward. When we mimic this design in the garden using bottles, we not only save space, but also celebrate the beauty of natural patterns. A bottle herb spiral tower becomes both practical and poetic. Imagine standing before a tower that twists gently upward, each bottle planted with fragrant herbs. At the base, rosemary releases its strong, earthy scent. Higher up, basil spreads its green leaves, while mint cascades like a fountain. At the top, thyme nestles close to the sun, tiny but powerful. The spiral guides your eye, your hand, even your breath as the fragrances mix in the air. This tower is more than design. It is a recipe waiting to be harvested. With just a few bottles and careful arrangement, you can grow multiple herbs in a fraction of the space. Watering from the top allows gravity to feed each layer below, conserving both effort and resources. For small gardens, balconies, or village yards, it is a feast of efficiency and beauty. The spiral also feels alive. Children run their fingers along the path, discovering new scents. Neighbors stop, curious about the structure that looks like art but tastes like dinner. And you, the gardener, find joy in knowing that every dish you cook carries flavors grown by your own hand. In this spiral, waste becomes nourishment, bottles become earth, and the pattern of the universe itself is echoed in your backyard. It reminds us that gardening is not just about feeding the body. It is about feeding the spirit with beauty, fragrance, and wonder. A garden without butterflies feels incomplete. Their delicate wings bring movement, their colors bring joy, and their presence turns a patch of soil into a living painting. With a simple plastic bottle, you can invite them closer, offering nectar that keeps them returning day after day. A butterfly feeder is not only a gift to nature, it is a gift to your own eyes and spirit. Imagine a bottle hanging gently from a tree, its bottom filled with sweet water. At the cap, a sponge or cottonwood drips the nectar slowly, just enough for butterflies to land and sip. Soon, flashes of orange, yellow, and blue flutter through the air, gathering like dancers at a festival. Their wings catch the sunlight, shimmering as they feed. The garden, once quiet, now hums with delicate life. Creating the feeder is simple. Cut or pierce a bottle, fill it with sugar water, and attach a sponge to allow slow release. Hang it among flowers, where butterflies already roam, and watch as they discover the new source of sweetness. Over time, they'll learn to return, filling your mornings and afternoons with their graceful presence. For children, this is a wonder they'll never forget. Seeing butterflies up close, learning how small acts can care for fragile lives. For gardeners, it's a way to support pollinators that help flowers bloom and vegetables thrive. And for anyone watching, it's pure magic. Waste transformed into wings, plastic into beauty. The feeder teaches us that harmony with nature doesn't require wealth or technology. It only requires kindness, a little effort, and the courage to see possibility in what others throw away. With each sip, each fluttering wing, your garden becomes a sanctuary of both creativity and life. Water has always carried life. Rivers, lakes, and ponds hold secrets of survival. And now, even a humble plastic bottle can help carry that tradition. A floating garden raft built from bottles is more than a project. It is a vision of resourcefulness, where waste becomes buoyancy and buoyancy becomes food. Picture a small pond behind your home. On its calm surface floats a raft, bottles tied securely beneath, supporting a platform of soil and plants. Spinach, lettuce, or herbs grow upward, while fish swim curiously beneath, nibbling at roots that dangle into the water. The raft rocks gently, never sinking, its bottles working silently as guardians of growth. Making this creation is as simple as it is ingenious. Bottles are capped and bound tightly under a lightweight frame, bamboo, wood, or netting. On top, soil or growing mediums are placed, with small holes for plants. Water below feeds them naturally, reducing the need for constant care. The design is not only sustainable but also poetic, an island of green drifting on blue. For families, it is a source of fresh vegetables. For children, it is a marvel to see plants floating like little boats. For neighbors, it is a story of ingenuity worth sharing. And for you, it is a reminder that solutions do not always require land or money. They can be built with what is already in your hands. The raft becomes more than a garden. It becomes a symbol. It tells us that food, beauty, and hope can grow even in unexpected places. With bottles once discarded, you create not just a floating platform, but a floating dream, one that feeds, inspires, and shines upon the water with quiet dignity. Light has always been a symbol of guidance, showing us the way, comforting us in darkness. With creativity, even discarded plastic bottles can hold that light, becoming solar-powered lamps that brighten gardens at night. They are more than decoration. They are a fusion of sustainability, beauty, and quiet innovation. Imagine walking down a garden path after sunset. Along the edges, bottles glow gently, each one charged by the sun during the day. Some shine clear and white. Others radiate with soft colors, amber, green, or blue. The pathway feels alive, not harsh with electric glare, but tender, as though the stars themselves have descended into bottles to keep you company. Creating a green energy lamp is simple and rewarding. Bottles are cleaned, cut, or left intact, then fitted with small solar LEDs. During the day, they absorb sunlight. At night, they release it as a soft, steady glow. No wires, no bills, just light gifted freely by the sun. Even the simplest garden becomes enchanting under their watch. These lamps serve more than beauty. They mark safe pathways, guide children home from play, and allow families to sit outdoors long after the sun sets. Neighbors admire their charm, surprised at what was once waste now illuminates the night. And for you, the maker, each glowing bottle feels like a small victory, a statement that sustainability can shine as brightly as any bulb. In their glow, there is also hope. Hope that small ideas can change habits, that light can come from the simplest materials, and that creativity can build a greener future. With every bottle that lights the dark, you create not just a lamp, but a promise that tomorrow can be brighter if we choose to make it so. In every field and garden, there's a silent guardian, an old friend who keeps watch while seeds grow into harvest. Traditionally, scarecrows are made from straw and cloth, but now, even plastic bottles can join this timeless role. A bottle scarecrow does more than protect plants. It adds character, humor, and creativity to the landscape. Imagine a small figure standing proudly among vegetables or rice fields. Its body is built from bottles strung together, each one painted in bright reds, yellows, or silvers. When the sun strikes them, the reflections flash like tiny mirrors, startling birds from above. The wind rattles the bottles, creating sounds that echo through the crops, gentle reminders for birds to keep away. Building one is simple and fun. Bottles can be tied with wire, rope, or bamboo sticks, forming arms that sway and legs that clatter. Add a straw hat, a painted smile, or even scraps of fabric for clothing, and suddenly the scarecrow feels alive, a character with personality standing guard in your garden. But beyond function, this creation carries joy. Children laugh when they see its colorful form. Neighbors smile at its ingenuity, and you, the gardener, feel a sense of pride each time you watch it sway. It is not just a deterrent. It is a story told in plastic and color, one that brings charm to even the most ordinary patch of soil. And at dusk, when the field grows quiet, the scarecrow still stands, bottles gleaming softly in the fading light, a reminder that protection can be playful, and that even discarded plastic can become a loyal guardian of growth. Gardens are often thought of as places to see, but they can also be places to hear. The whisper of leaves, the hum of insects, the gentle flow of water. These are the sounds that make a garden alive. With creativity, even plastic bottles can join this orchestra, shaped into amplifiers that resonate with the wind and carry music through the air. Imagine a row of pots where herbs grow freely, mint, basil, or parsley. Attached to each pot is a plastic bottle cut into a horn-like shape. When the wind passes through, it hums softly, as though the plants themselves are singing. The bottles catch and shape the sound, turning an ordinary breeze into a melody that fills a yard. The design is simple yet ingenious. Bottles are cut at angles, widened at the mouths, and secured to pots or bamboo frames. Some amplify natural sounds, while others can even boost the quiet music from a small speaker placed nearby. They remind us that plastic can be more than storage. It can be an instrument, a voice for nature's choir. For children, these sound pots become magic, proof that the wind carries songs if you know how to listen. For families, they bring atmosphere, making evenings in the garden feel richer, alive with sound. And for you, they become an experiment in blending art, science, and sustainability. The beauty is not in perfection, but in surprise. Each gust brings a different tone, each day a different rhythm. The bottles remind us that music need not come from technology alone. It can rise from the simplest shapes, the lightest breezes, and the humblest materials, turning waste into wonder, silence into song. Every garden depends on pollinators. Without bees, butterflies, and small insects, flowers would not bloom and fruits would not grow. Yet modern life has pushed many of these tiny allies away. A vertical beehive shelter built from plastic bottles offers them a safe home, while reminding us that even waste can serve life's most essential needs. Picture a simple wooden frame standing in a sunny corner. Inside it, rows of plastic bottles are stacked vertically. Each bottle is packed with bamboo sticks or drill wood, creating tunnels where solitary bees can nest. Around the shelter, flowers bloom, marigolds, sunflowers, basil, waiting to be visited. Soon, bees buzz gently, darting in and out of bottles, working quietly yet tirelessly to keep the garden alive. Building this shelter is surprisingly easy. Bottles are cut, cleaned, and filled with natural materials. Their clear walls protect the structure, while the openings welcome pollinators. Placed in a dry, sunny spot, it becomes a living hub, where insects find refuge and the garden finds strength. For children, it is a window into the hidden world of nature, teaching them that bees are not to be feared but respected. For gardeners, it means stronger harvests, brighter flowers, and healthier soil. And for you, it is a reminder that protection can be given in the simplest ways. The shelter hums with life, though never loudly, just a soft rhythm of wings and work. It is proof that plastic bottles, once discarded, can become havens of hope. In every flight of a bee, in every blossom that sets fruit, you see how generosity toward nature is always repaid. The bottles, once empty, now overflow with purpose. Guardians of pollinators, keepers of life. Heat can be the gardener's greatest challenge. On dry, blazing afternoons, plants wilt, soil cracks, and the promise of harvest feels fragile. Yet a simple idea, an ice cooler planter made from plastic bottles, offers relief. By keeping the soil cool and moist, it gives plants a chance to thrive even under the strongest sun. Imagine a row of planters where plastic bottles rest beneath the soil. Inside them, ice cubes slowly melt, releasing cool water directly to the roots. The soil stays damp, the roots stay refreshed, and the plant above stand tall and green. Chilies sparkle with tiny blossoms, lettuce leaves stay crisp, and basil breathes its fragrance freely into the hot air. The design is clever but easy. Bottles are cut, perforated, and buried in the soil near plant roots. On hot days, ice is placed inside. As it melts, it cools the surrounding earth, giving plants steady hydration without flooding. It is like giving them shade and water at once, all hidden within the soil. For families, this trick ensures steady harvest through harsh weather. For children, it feels like magic, watching ice protect life in silence. And for you, it is a reminder that even in difficulty, small solutions can carry hope. What was once waste becomes a lifeline. What was once trash becomes resilience. Every cool drop falling from the bottle into roots speaks of care, patience, and ingenuity. And as you see your plants flourish under the sun's test, you realize the truth. Survival is not about avoiding heat, but about adapting creatively to it. In the garden, as in life, the smallest ideas can bring the greatest strength. Bonsai is not just a plant. It is a piece of living art. Every curve of its trunk, Every delicate leaf tells a story of patience and care. Yet such beauty is fragile, easily harmed by heat, rain, or pests. Here, a simple plastic bottle becomes a guardian, forming a clear dome that shields without suffocating, protecting while still allowing the bonsai to breathe. Imagine kneeling before a bonsai tree, its form sculpted over years. Over it rests a transparent dome, cut neatly from a bottle. Sunlight filters gently through, creating a soft glow around the leaves. Inside, the air is moist and calm. Droplets of condensation slide down the walls, returning life to the soil below. Outside, pests hover but cannot reach, and the wind passes harmlessly by. This dome is simple to make. A bottle is cut at the base and placed over the bonsai like a miniature greenhouse. Small holes ensure airflow, while the clear walls let in light. It provides balance, protection without isolation, safety without loss of vitality. For the gardener, it is reassurance. The bonsai remains safe from sudden storms or scorching afternoons. For children, it is a magical sight, as though the tree lives inside a crystal bubble. And for you, it becomes a quiet ritual, lifting the dome each day, checking the soil, adjusting its position, nurturing life with gentleness. In the end, the dome is more than plastic. It is a shield of care, a reminder that even the smallest trees deserve protection. It teaches that strength is not always about exposure. Sometimes, strength grows best when given shelter. And in that small bottle dome, the bonsai thrives, a living symbol of resilience and grace. Every garden has its secrets. Some are whispered in the rustling of leaves, others kept in the soil. And sometimes the gardener himself needs a little hiding place, somewhere safe for seeds, tools, or keepsakes. A plastic bottle, buried within a pot, becomes that hidden companion, invisible to the eye, yet always ready. Imagine a row of pots on a veranda, each one full of flowers or herbs. At first glance, nothing seems unusual, but beneath the soil within one of them lies a bottle. Its opening is sealed, its body hidden, storing tiny treasures. Seed packets for tomorrow's planting, a pair of pruning scissors, or perhaps a personal note waiting to be found. The plant above grows freely, unaware that its roots share a home with a quiet secret. Making a storage pot is simple. Cut the base of a large bottle, bury upside down inside the planter, and cover it with soil. The cap becomes a hidden lid, easy to twist open whenever needed. What looks like an ordinary pot becomes a small vault, one that blends into the rhythm of the garden while keeping essentials close. For families, it's a practical trick, never losing seeds or small tools again. For children, it's a magical hiding spot, a treasure chest hidden beneath blossoms. And for you, it is both convenience and charm, a playful reminder that gardens can hold surprises beyond flowers and fruit. This design proves that sustainability can be clever, playful, and deeply personal. Plastic bottles, once destined for waste, now become keepers of secrets. And in every hidden bottle beneath the soil lies a reminder that a garden is not only a place of growth, but also of stories, some seen, others quietly waiting beneath the surface. Would you like to use this collection of stories for a blog post, a social media series, or perhaps as inspiration for a short book on creative recycling?